Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. This is a very special, I guess, three-part series that the six of us are doing, promoting and trying the limited edition Rush beers. So we've teamed up with Halftime Beverage. They're out of New York in the U.S. They have the Rush beer. They're the distributor for the Rush beer in the U.S. or the main distributor. I don't know if there's any others, but they're the main distributor for Rush beer in the U.S. And they've so graciously sent the six of us samples of each of the three new beers. And this one here is the Moving Pictures 2024 vintage, and we're going to get into that in a second. But also sent us the Xana Brew and the X1 beers. We're going to do those over the following couple weeks. Um, but we're basically going to try it and review it. Crack it open, try it, review it. We're gonna go around. This isn't a round table, but we're gonna do it round table style. So I guess we're not promoting this as a Rush round table, but we're just gonna go around the panel. We're gonna start with David. I will say off the top though, Halftime has also given us a 10% off code called Rushfans 10. If you want to go on their website, get yourself some beer, use code Rushfans10. I don't know how long that's valid for, so get your beer quick. It's also selling out relatively fast, so get your beer ASAP. So David's going to read briefly about what this is from Halftime's website before we get into it.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. In honor of the 40th anniversary of Rush's eighth studio album, Moving Pictures, Henderson Brewing and Rush have teamed up once again, this time for a very special limited edition ale. Only 1,600 cases are being released. A Belgian dark strong ale with the Riesling must. This ale pours a gorgeous deep ruby color with a fine tan head. The taste is complex with notes of dark fruit pudding, toffee, dates, cherries, honey, bread crusts, and a slight booziness. Perfect for aging, this 11.5% limited edition ale makes a great holiday gift. And why do I sound like the guy on Price is Right?
You look like him too, but you're up, Bob Barker.
Okay, so yeah, here's what we're going to do. First, on the back of each of these limited edition bottles, this is the shortest one, but there's something there from the boys from Get an Owl. This one, Moving Pictures, says, possibly the greatest beer ever made. This was a quote from Doctors Lee and Lifeson, eminent beer scientists. Myself, I'm just a beer philosopher. I do want to say before I start that I was at Henderson Brewing in Toronto last October, and they didn't have this one, but I tried some of the others. And Halftime brews the beer according to the Henderson recipe. So I've had both Halftime on the Golden Ale, not these, unfortunately, yet, and also at Henderson. And can I say, whether you get it from Halftime in the US or Henderson in Canada, it's going to be absolutely awesome. And in a blind taste test, you couldn't tell the difference. I just want to throw that out there. So here we go. I guess I have to put this on camera. Marvelous. I'm going to try not to be pretentious, but I'm just having way too much fun here.
Don't ruin that cap. Very pretty cap design too.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
a collector's item.
small collection of these. Okay, so you see the color. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Excuse me for just a moment. That is fantastic. It's really, even though the description says dark, it doesn't strike me as heavy. You know, this isn't in their description, but there's also seemed to be a little bit of a pear maybe in it, very, very light. Again, I'm a beer philosopher, not a beer scientist, so I can't speak to the specifics of this. Exceptionally smooth, and the finish is just velvet. It's just really, really great. I love this. I can't wait to see what the rest of the group says. And you know, you could just say something like, "Wow, this is really cool." I'm just trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Well, well, I am not a beer scientist, or I don't even fancy myself as a beer drinker. I probably have one beer every 6 months. So I know nothing about terminology with beer. I'm simply going to crack this open, tell you if I like it, and that's going to probably be more or less my review. So, um, I'll do what David did. I'll smell it first.
Yeah, get the
I'm
aroma.
also, I will also say that I have had the Signals beer, um, which is out of stock, unfortunately, and I've had the the golden ale in both cans and in bottles, and all of which, as someone who's not a beer scientist or even a beer drinker, I enjoyed all of them. So I'm also not going to pour it because I don't have a cup. But
Yeah, straight from the bottle.
Well,
Just rip it.
while you're drinking, Ryan, may I say the Signals was a surprise and delight. I did not see that coming when I had that up at Henderson. So
this is good. This is better than the Signals beer. I'll say that.
I agree.
Yeah. You said pear.
Yeah,
Let's see what it.
or is it apricot? Maybe it's apricot, not pear.
I don't know. I don't know what it tastes like based on what it's saying. Dark fruit pudding.
The toffee, yeah, the honey, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say honey for sure. Yeah, I can taste the honey.
Mhm.
But it is pretty damn good. I like it. I like it better than Signals. I don't know if I like it better than the Golden Ale, but I like it better than the Signals. So I give it a 10 out of 10 because it's better beer, right?
Better beer.
All right, Alana, what do you got? Let's see how
Okay.
you like it.
I've had the Golden Ale, both from Henderson's directly during their rush day of last year in 2023, and then I had cans that I brought home. And I have to say, fresh from the keg was great. And then when I brought them home, those cans were just a little bit too big in terms of what I enjoy in beer. And by the end, I kind of had to chug it down a little bit. So we'll see how I feel about this one while I humble myself on camera opening a beer.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that quite a bit, actually. Definitely more. I think I like that better than the Golden Ale. Um, that Riesling on it is nice. I can detect that. I've done more wine tastings than I have beer tastings, so I can definitely pick up that note for sure. And there is like a certain fresh fruit quality to it. I don't know if it's that cherries or the booziness that they're talking about, but man, that's really nice. I like it. 10 out of 10 for me too.
I mean, for me, it fits great in my enormously small hand. So, um,
Oh,
The aftertaste to that is
I was
quite
just about to
nice.
say that. Yeah, it's
Yes.
yep, yep. One might say it's better than being hit in the head with a hammer.
Yes,
Oh.
definitely.
Someone, a beer scientist, said that once.
Ryder?
All right. So I've only ever had the Golden Ale. I've actually had both the Henderson release and the Halftime Brewing release. Both times I've had them were just in the cans, and I thought they were really, really great. But this is my first time ever having one of the special edition ones, so I'm really interested to see how it stacks up compared to
Wait,
the
but
more
before we get in
traditional. Oop.
trouble, Ryder is over age, everyone. So Ryder is
Oh
22 at this
yeah,
point, or 21,
yeah.
right? You're
I'm
21, so
21.
Verifiable.
Yes, I turned 21 last December. Yes, just to clarify. I don't know
This
if we
was
ever
This was
officially
the
announced
first
that on
time he's
here.
been drinking beer. He never drank beer
Yes,
before.
never
yes.
in my life have I ever drank beer before.
this was all
Yeah.
initiated like last fall, before when he was only 20, but now he's of
Yeah,
age. So I just want to clear that up.
long time in the making.
Yes.
But I'm really excited about this. And thank you to Halftime Brewery for being so patient about it. I really appreciate it. This is such a cool opportunity.
Thank you,
Anyways,
Alex.
why are we here? For the beer. Let's see how it goes.
Because we're here for the beer.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. That was my
You know,
reaction.
I saw 11% on it, and I was starting to get kind of scared a little bit. I thought it was gonna really, really bite, but wow,
It doesn't at all.
It doesn't.
that's great. There's a lot of definition in that.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't really have the best words to describe it. I'm not really to call me a beer connoisseur is being a little polite about it. But you know, I think this is really, really great. I think anyone who's at all interested in just like, you know, obviously Rush fans, I think for the aesthetics of it, it's a huge thing. But I mean, this is really, really great. I think there's just a lot to it, man.
It's a great introduction to a quote unquote heavier beer.
Yeah. hmm Definitely not like super overpowering or anything, but you know, definitely kicks you in the head. It's not anything light, but you know, that's really, really great.
Hold that up again. Pretty big schmagilka you got there.
You?
All right, Brendan, what do you think?
So I just pre-popped this top, and I can't get enough of that amazing Starman bottle cap. Definitely hanging on to that.
Yep.
Gonna give this a pour. I've got this like golden goblet of the gods here. Sorry for the blur. And as you can see, sorry again, a little blurry, but it's got this kind of caramel ruby color. Oh, smells very appetizing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. So it does have the, as they said, the Riesling must. So the must is means it's brewed with the crushed wine grapes, with the skins, with the juice. So I don't know if it counts as what's called an ano beer, which is a wine beer sort of hybrid, but you definitely get those sort of winey, dark fruit notes, cherry, raisin notes. Definitely get like bready, toasty notes as well. I could see this like I could see enjoying this with a steak. I could see enjoying this with some spicy food. I'm going to also give this a 10 out of 10. I have also tried the Golden Ale, both the Henderson and Halftime, both the bottled and canned versions, and I'm a big fan. I don't know that I would necessarily compare this. I think it kind of depends on what you're in the mood for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice rush
But
fun.
again, this like if you like beer and if you like wine, you're definitely going to enjoy this.
You know, Brendan, that's what I thought about the Signals beer. The Signals beer had a very wine. Have you had that, Brendan? The
I
Signals
have
beer.
not. I look forward to trying it at some point.
So the Signals beer had a very wine taste to me at the beginning, and then the aftertaste was beer. It was weird. I think it was more alcohol by volume though too. I think it was like 15 or some crazy number.
I actually
Um,
have the signals right over here. I'll check it.
Yeah.
So
And
Ryan,
it
what's
struck me
the
as almost like champagne.
yeah.
Signals is 12.9.
Oh, really?
I think
thought
this
it
a
is
was
little
your
bit more.
signals bottle too, Ryan. I think
I
you
think it
sent this
was.
to
I
me.
think I bought 3. Yeah, I still have one in the fridge and one on display. All right. Well, I do believe the Signals is out of stock. That's why we're not doing that one.
Yeah.
Maybe if it ever comes back in stock, we'll do a review of that. Or if anybody has any on stock, we'll do. I have one, so if anybody has any on stock, we'll do a video. If there's anybody out there in the audience that has Signals beer, uh, you know, in their house and they want to come on and do a review for that, let us know. But all right, so Pat, we've let you wait the longest amount of time here. So
oh, sitting here sober?
Well, fix that.
Sober-ish. There we are. Here's to feeling good all the time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Woo. I could be a spokesman for these people. Maybe. That's a that's crisp. But like the others have alluded to, for a for a beer that's that high in percentage, it doesn't taste as heavy as I would expect for a beer of that percentage to taste. It goes down smooth.
which is what makes it dangerous.
Yes.
But,
Yes,
but
I
it
think.
does, but it does have a little bit of a boozy kick if you're into that sort of thing, which I am.
Hmm. And yeah, the aftertaste is good. Sometimes you have a beer that you'll taste the beer and it's like great at first, like, yeah, I'm really loving this. And all of a sudden you kind of get to the aftertaste part and you're like, this is kind of taking a bite out of the
Right.
experience. But no, I mean,
Really
I
nice.
after reading Getty's book, and we know about Alex, I trust them, to give us a good time. And this is a good time.
Mhm.
They know how to have fun.
All right.
You know,
Well, what do we think about the branding? Oh, sorry, Ryder. You want to say something else?
oh yeah, well, you just saying like Kitty and Alex like bringing the goods or whatever, just thinking about like kind of the flavor profile of this. You guys talking a little bit about how it kind of tastes like wine, kind of snapped what I was trying to say into motion, like about how it wasn't super overpowering or anything. Those like the like kind of fruity tones in it definitely gave me like a very wine vibe, and I can tell that that's probably Getty having a little bit of fun with the mix
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be like this different at all from the Golden Ale. I really wasn't expecting this at all.
Yeah. All
And I
right,
will say
Brent.
I haven't had the other beers. This is my first Rush beer, so
Ooh.
Okay.
so I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, I'm impressed. This is really good.
Delicious.
Well, everybody save your golden ales because I know they sent us a golden ale or two as well. So if you haven't had those yet, save at least one of them. Maybe we'll do that at the end. I know we already did an episode on that, but I think that was mostly in bottles. So this would be in cans. I could be mistaken, but we'll try it again maybe in the future. Branding wise, so this is they basically repurposed this beer and rebranded it, I believe, because this was moving pictures with PITCHERS, right? In like 2020 or whatever when that came out or
So
2021 it would have been for the 40th
they
anniversary.
they had moving pictures, which I think was a different kind of brew, and then I believe they released moving pictures in 2021. And this is the moving pictures 2024 vintage, so it's a new brewing of the 2021 moving pictures, I believe.
And the original was 14%, not 11.5, if
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
it is
mistaken.
different actually because this says uh, the moving pictures was a strong ale with fruity notes of berries and grapes with spicy floral bouquet to round it out. Aromas of maple syrup and complexity help balance out the sweetness. So yeah, it is different actually.
Yep.
I did not know that. I thought it was the same ingredients, but I mean, I guess branding wise, I like that better. It looks a little bit prettier. But this, I mean, I do think they did a good job with this. Any last thoughts on that?
It's really I like the fact that it's really simple. You have the mover on the front holding the framed painting of the Starman. It's kind of elegant. It's understated. You've got the Starman on the back, moving pictures, 2024 vintage. It's not the most ornate and colorful, but a really nice understated design.
What?
Yeah, very classy, very simple, not too showy.
I went ahead and grabbed one of the Golden Ale bottles just for comparison. One of the things I always really enjoy how they packaged just all their varieties of rush beer have been very, very great and have had really unique packaging. Here's the Signals one too. So I always really enjoy like looking around trying to find like any little Easter eggs or things like that that are kind of on here. This doesn't really necessarily have a whole lot of that, like how on the Golden Ale right here, there's a bunch of different icons for different albums. But I mean, I don't think you should be expecting to see like the text for Echo and Nuckchuck or whatever on here, but it's just a very like clean and simple bottle. But there is like, that quote on the back that's pretty funny. And also, if you look at it, I'm just kind of noticing it right now because of this light that I have here. If you kind of shine it like behind a light, there's a really cool like reddish color.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that is sweet.
I see red.
Hey,
It's
hurts my
very
head.
um
It'll hurt my head in the morning.
Yeah.
it's very wine bottle inspired.
Yes,
Mhm.
both in
That was
taste
good.
and in actual flavor.
Hmm.
Perhaps at the end of this series, we'll come up with some Grace Under Pressure or Power Windows inspired beers because who knows what's coming next. I would assume that's probably in the future. In the plans, maybe you would think.
I
They
am
seem to be.
blacking out on Grace Under Pressure beer. It's gonna be so bad.
Um. All right. Any last comments other than I think the only thing better than Rush beer is I heard sex was fun.
Couldn't be us. We're having Rush
You're good on
beer.
the Alex quotes today, there, Ryan.
I did my research prior. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Can I tell a
Um.
story?
Sure.
Um, when our other Rush fans friend Paul Creme and I were at Henderson, they told us the story of how Rush chose them, and they wanted to do their own beer, so their management went to kind of like the big names, in Canadian beers, and all of these big name beers said, "Well, we'll just put your label on something we already have." And Get an Hour were like, "No, we want you to brew something, and we want to like it, and we want to put our label on that. We want it to be our beer." So the big breweries didn't want to do that. And what happened was Henderson had used, I think, an image of Getty or something to promote something they were doing, and they got a cease and desist letter from the management. And Get an Out, and this is the story we were told when we did our tour of the brewery. Uh, Get an Hour, like, what was that? And Henderson is just a small family-owned brewery, about 40, 50 years old, maybe. I can't remember. It's down in the Depot train district of Toronto. And they were like, what was that brewery that we did a cease and desist for? Let's check with them. And so the brewmeister there did like 30 different recipes or something wild or crazy like that, and had Get an Out come down and try them all. And the one they picked became the golden ale. So that struck me as so Rush to, Starman resist the masses, the commodification that just wanted to slap their label on something they already did, and to go with Henderson, who went out of their way to make several different beers and let Get an Out choose the one that was there. So this is not none of their beers. It's just something else that a label was slapped on, but it's something that they approved themselves and that Henderson did on their behalf and for them, and that's super cool.
And it's so rushed to also
Yeah.
like revert back to. I mean, I'm sure Henderson had the best of intentions when whatever cease and desist happened, right? So to kind of, it's very rushed to kind of go back on that too, like, and just be
Yeah,
like, hey, let's kind of
yeah,
not right the wrong, but like, let's see what they
yeah.
got, so
Small
that's
local
cool.
brewery, Toronto, hometown.
That's
Let's
cool.
do that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good stuff. All right. Well, again, Rush Fans 10 at halftime in the US. That's the code that we have from halftime, who so graciously sponsored this for us. If you're in Canada, like David said, Henderson Brewing in Toronto. We will be back probably next week with the next one. Don't know which one we're going to be reviewing and tasting just yet, but we will be back. This is going to be our June exercise, I guess, with the hopefully the six of us. We'll try to be all six of us. But yeah, let us know if you've had this yourself, what you think, and leave a comment and go get your beer. Halftime. I think it's halftimebeverage.com. Just put in a rush. So see you later, everybody. Rush on.
The burps taste good too.